When the last eagle flies over the last crumbling mountain, and the last lion roars at the last dusty fountain, in the shadow of the forest, though she may be old and worn, they will stare unbelieving at the last unicorn. I'm alive. All right, I'm done. This is a long time coming. Holy crap! Like I've waited over a year for this fucking deck, so I'll be damned if I don't capture this on camera. I don't care if this is like the lamest and longest video in the world, and that you guys just like leave halfway, because like this is a milestone. Oh my god. So I just for context, purchased this deck off of Kickstarter when it was announced. It was like a year and a half ago now, and it was the price range was kind of high. I think I paid somewhere between the realm of 70 to 80 bucks for the last Unicorn Tarot, and it just arrived today. Look at it. I want everybody to gaze upon, first of all, this box that came with it. This is utterly beautiful. And it's a really nice box. I've already done all of like the pre-packaging removal kind of thing, so the plastic shrink wrap has been removed from the cards, and you know, the box just comes off. There's no hinge or anything. It comes with a guidebook, which is hardcover, really cool, lovely gold leaf. There's a lot of gold leaf on the deck as well. There's also an additional card that was signed by the author of the novel The Last Unicorn, Peter S. Beagle, which is really sweet. So that can be used as a little bookmark for the guide, I suppose. I haven't quite gone through the entire... I was like picking through the book a little bit, but I can't say I went into it with any real depth. So I might come back and add some more footage later once I've had a little bit more experience actually using this deck and seeing how the book reads, etc. and so forth, because I am kind of a pragmatist in that way. But like it's time. I gotta show this puppy off. Here is what the inside of the box looks like. It's padded with like some very nice foam material and covered in what looks to be like kind of canvas or linen or something. And then the cards are really beefy. They're sure stiff. They remind me a lot of the sort of cardstock that was used in, like the Fountain Tarot kind of has it. Maybe the Fountain Tarot is actually a little bit thicker, but, you know, really nice. But it still has like a nice bend to it, so I think it can be riffle shuffled if that's something that you wish to do. Me, I will be treating this deck as a precious treasure that I will be very fucking ginger with and refuse to like manhandle too much, because oh my god, just the amount of time it took for this thing to get to me. But that time is now over. Waiting is now over, and now I get to play with my toy. Yay. And I'm not going to show you every card, but I am going to go through the major arcana, and I will show you a few select cards from the minor arcana, just so that this video isn't so long. So pretty. So I'm just gonna turn, there you go. You can see the shine of the gold leaf there at the bottom where the framed area of the titles of the cards are. Yay! And all around the edges as well. The gilding on the side of the cards isn't quite that shiny. It's actually more of like a sparkly, it's like flatter. I wouldn't call it matte by any means, but it's like sparkly and flat as opposed to like super glossy and shiny the way that I see gold gilding on a lot of cards. So that's really cool. I imagine it will stay on the cards a little bit better that way, hopefully. Oh, but my god, they're so pretty. There's the magician. The magician's magician. I'm gonna make a lot of references to the movie, so if you've never seen the 1981 or 1982 Rankin Bass picture, The Last Unicorn, this video may not be for you. Oh, I forget this dude's name, too. What is it, Mudrook or something like that? You've let doom in by your front door, but it won't depart that way. You'd think that I'd have, like, the whole movie memorized, because I have most of it memorized. There's the High Priestess, Lady Amalthea. Very nice, very nice. Aw, this is a nice card. I'm glad that they put Molly Grew in the role of the Empress. The, you know, cast of characters for the movie The Last Unicorn is pretty limited, so it's very interesting to me to see, like, who they put where, you know what I mean? The Emperor, played by the role of King Haggard. For anybody who has seen the movie, King Haggard is voiced very well by the late great Sir Christopher Lee. Interesting. So they put this guy as the Hierophant. Gosh, what's his name? He's the guy that works for Mommy Fortuna, but I can't remember his name off the top of my head. He's pretty funny. But of course, Amalthea and, what's his name? Prince Lear? I think his name is Lear in the movie. And the love note that he writes to her, or starts writing to her and then crumples up and throws in the trash. And then there's Lear riding his horse and charging towards a dragon for the chariot. Very cool. Now, I am very interested to see, like, how this deck reads, you know what I mean? Like, it's definitely a novelty piece. This is a really good representation of strength for anybody that's seen the movie. The unicorn driving the Red Bull into the sea, that's pretty sweet. P.S. Spoilers. I should have said something earlier. Also a good representation of the hermit when the unicorn goes on her lonely quest to find the other unicorns. Searching for answers. The Wheel of Fortune, interesting. So, it looks just to be like some kind of like stained glass business. And then, these four immortal beings that sort of surround the outside, which I really like as a parallel. So you got the unicorn, you got the harpy, you got the talking cat, which is funny because you can definitely tell that this dude he's got something going on. And then the Red Bull, of course. Very pretty. The cards are very beautifully illustrated, for sure. I think Lear is a really good representation of justice, because he's incredibly righteous. He's a righteous man. He stands up for what's right. He's got a lot of honor. So the Hanged Man is played by the Harpy. I kind of like this. I'm tickled. This is really sweet. The skeleton above the clock is Death. And he's guarding the gates to the lair of the Red Bull, so that makes perfect sense, you know, death as a passageway. Lear peeling potatoes for temperance. I kind of dig it. Humbling himself in the kitchen, even though he's a prince. The Red Bull surrounding the Lady Amalthea for the devil. Oh. Now this is, okay, so this is a card I fully expected. The tower being represented by King Lear's castle, or King Haggard's castle, pardon me, exploding and then falling off the cliff's edge. That's a really obvious piece of symbolism that I think was very well used for tarot. This is a card that I'm familiar with because I saw it a bunch in some of the promo. The star card. I think they also made scarves or something. Some of these cards made it to other pieces of merchandise that I did not buy. Another good representation. I'm really digging these. So the moon is represented by Mommy Fortuna and her illusions. So I'm kind of trusting at this point that, you know, the people that made this deck put a lot of thought into, like, actually making sure that each of these cards is sort of accurate in terms of, like, this is probably a Rider-Waite based deck. Love the sun card, all of the unicorns emerging from the sea. Judgment. Schmendrick shouting, "Magic, do as you will," and turning the unicorn into a woman. Oh, and then this makes me happy. Oh, I love it. Oh, the butterfly, the worldly traveler for the world card. That is fantastic. I'm gushing right now. I'm having a great time. So we have an additional lovers card. And I think I remember this caused a little bit of controversy when the deck was first being announced. They had revealed this as their lovers card, and people really fought back. I like this as the lovers card. I think it's like, be careful what you choose kind of thing. Yeah, if anyone's familiar with the movie, Schmendrick tries to cast a spell to release himself from a tree he's tied to by a bunch of bandits, and instead it turns the tree into this like sentient lustful creature with very large breasts that tries to seduce him, and he's like, oh god, what have I done? I am so tickled. Oh, this is great. Okay, so wait a second. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, it looks as if some things got sort of put out of order a little bit. As long as there's nothing missing, that's okay. I'm just going to put them back in order. But, well, this is a good one. Here, wait. Schmendrick juggling the 2 coins. That's a really poetic image. I really like that, because he's a juggler. And, again, I'm just gonna go through these and try to find some of, I think, the better represented cards in here. I do like this one. This is the 10 of coins, you know, represented by legacy. So you've got, you know, King Haggard and his son Prince Lear. That's pretty sweet. So I'm really enjoying this so far. We're on to the cups now. The Ace of Cups is really beautiful, the fountain. That's a really nice piece of imagery from the movie. And I am just like really, really a fan of what I'm seeing here. This is so great. I'll probably end up like chopping up a lot of this video. Just that you guys don't have to watch me like fumbling around. This is another image that I was familiar with, the Ace of Swords. Pretty cool. Oh, I love this. I love the 3 of Swords with Molly Grew. Poor Molly. Molly gets the shit end of the dating stick every fucking time, man. Yeah, there's a lot of... I'm noticing that, like, in these cards... I'm just gonna show you guys the 9 of Swords. I'm noticing that a lot in these cards, there are images that are just original drawings, like with the characters from the movie. A lot of the major arcana seems to be derived a lot from actual still images from the animated picture, but then they got some illustrators in to create some of these really intense, like, scenes of things that never happened in the movie. This is a bad example, actually, because I think this one did happen in the movie, is the harpy slaughtering Mommy Fortuna. Ooh, and I like the character Mommy Fortuna. I think she's like foolish and wise at the same time. She definitely has wisdom to impart, and she says a lot of really deep things, but she's also kind of a charlatan. So, mixed feelings. So I am already kind of a fan of this. So the Ace of Wands is represented by this like symbolic unicorn horn, and it doesn't seem as if that's prevalent throughout. Like here we have like branches for the 2 of Wands, and then the 3 of Wands have spears. So like they're not trying to be super consistent, you know what I mean? Like, it's more about, like, doing diligence, I would say, to what the tarot interpretations of the cards are, rather than trying to make everything super uniform. Like, I kind of like that, personally. I think that's a good art direction. And then, again, I don't want to, like, have to show you all of these. I definitely love using Molly. I love Molly. She's one of my favorite characters in the entire story because she's just, like, totally herself. She's a deeply opinionated woman. Goals. But then there's the last one, the King of Wands, as the Red Bull. He's got kind of a derpy look on his face, I'm not gonna lie. But I do have to say that I am so pleased to finally have gotten this deck. I'm sure I'm far behind everybody else. I'm sure a lot of people have shown theirs off online, but god damn it, I knew I had to do it too. I waited so long for this deck, and I was actually kind of like late in the rotation for a lot of the shipping that happened. They were like sending things out in batches, and I was a pretty late batch, so oh well. But I'm going to do my Virgin Shuffle on camera. Oh baby. Just to say I did. Oh, I'm doing it all wrong. Alright. Yeah, these puppies are stiff. These need to be broken a little bit. But man, this is sparkly and super pretty. And I know I showed it off a little bit before, but the backs of the cards are totally symmetrical, reversible kind of thing. And lots of sparkles. The images of the butterfly, too. He's kind of an iconic character of the movie, even though he only has one scene. He's like an oracle of sorts, which is pretty funny. Now that I think that, I'm like, oh, what an appropriate character to put on the back of a tarot deck. Oh, so excited. And I'm gonna draw my first card on camera. I hope it's a good one. It is! It's the King of Cups. The Master of Emotion. Oh, I'm getting some love from Pixel. Alright, that's enough for me. Have a great day, everybody. Sweet dreams.